Happy Youth Day, South Africa. It is the 16th of June, 2024. It's a long time from Ilandiga 1976, where we got to remember this day. So today, our episode today is slightly taking a different approach. So we're gonna we want to look at the sagas of 1976. We call it saga remembering the class of 76.
Yeah, remembering the class of 76.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about. But still, we are not deviating from our usual talk. Couple still. So our biggest question is, our so beloved comrades that were fighting for this country, fighting for a change that we are still yet to benefit from. I'm not sure if this is. I feel like we are not in Kansas yet. It's not yet Uhuru. Yeah. So we want to see what were the challenges, the ins and outs of their love lives. I don't know. Do you guys know? Have you guys ever wondered? Okay, over to you, Wayne.
Hi. It's always a blessing to have you guys all the time, every week, when we do a podcast about these sagas that affect our day-to-day life. And I'm glad, just a point of correction, we're doing it as remembering the sagas of the class of 76 with Youth Day in mind, 16 June. So it's a saga that was happening. So we want to delve into that and understand what was happening then. As usual, it's DJ Wicked, Nomzo. Right.
Yeah, okay, thank you for that point of correction. It's difficult to talk about this, especially in the angle that we want to take. Because right here, when we talk about what happened in 1976, it's let me just get to a little bit of history. So back in the day, there was different privileges that were imposed by the apartheid government, whereas an allocation and the government of the time had allocated per year. They would allocate some 642 rands per year for each of the white students. And for the black students, only 42 rand was allocated for black students, and they were quite congested in their classes, and there was a whole lot of turmoil. But so be that as it may, as if that was enough of inequality, and then now there was an enforcement in 1974 where
76.
No,
74,
1974 to say that they must the crucial languages, like the core languages such as mathematics, they needed to be taught in Afrikaans. And then you can now think that, okay, we've got inequalities in every right, in each and every corner around us, and all of a sudden, boom, teach those things in Afrikaans. And then that created a sort of unrest within the students that formed organized or SASO, student bodies of SASO. These are high school students, people who should be dating and looking for girlfriends and boyfriends. But now, instead, they are being involved in things that pertain directly to them, and then this inequality is directed at them. Now they are going to be taught in Afrikaans. So it is said that two teachers, they were like, now I'm not teaching in Afrikaans. In Soweto, two of this, that's where it sparked everything.
Yeah, the uprising started in Soweto.
Yeah, and then those two teachers who refused, they were banned, and then students took it up, and then it escalated from there up until in 76, in May of 76, the students were like, no, we are saying no, we are rioting against this thing. So it became a big thing, which is why we remember this day now. And then there was a whole lot of fighting and between learners. I think that we should be talking about how old are the learners? Somewhere in the teenage.
High school, yeah, that's definitely teenagers. Yeah.
So teenagers, they took it upon themselves.
17, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the likes of Sarafina, it's entailed in the movie Sarafina.
Yeah.
Those were like teenagers.
So these are people that should be dating and exploring that such a thing. I'm now wondering what could have, like, in the aftermath of everything, when there was no struggle anymore, I'm sure you would have wasted a lot of your youth years in the struggles. Some people getting exiled, some people doing that. How was the arena then in the terrain of romantic of like relationships?
So in a way, you are bringing it to qualify in our line of talk when it comes to the sagas of couplehood. Now these teens were busy now by a toy against whatever this movement that the government had started. So what instead of enjoying their youth, or like what we are doing today is but yeah, we're overdoing it though. So hey, it's not a piano. Hey, if ungabavusa namhlanje yona mzobonge laba Hector Peterson and show them how we are enjoying the June 16 with the piano and all that. Yeah, bro, we're enjoying. Thanks to those guys, man. They did great for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, man, for narrating it so clearly, and I think everybody did understand now as a picture of what was happening in 1976 and how we come to celebrate these youth for taking up arms and going on the streets to say no. We ain't gonna be taught in a foreign language. We're struggling with these science and mathematics subjects already in our own language, and now you want us to do it in a foreign language that we don't even understand it. Or I mean, look at today, if they say they're gonna start teaching us in German. I mean, imagine you need to start understanding your German. You don't even know what is high in German, but now you need to know what is Bodmas in Afrikaans.
It would have been a struggle, and I cannot imagine me being taught in mathematics or science in isiXhosa. There are things that they are not going to say. It's going to be difficult in my own language. How much more of a language that I'm not familiar with?
Try saying what is the square root of 44 in isiXhosa.
Square root of 44. Ingcambu engamacala amane yamashumi amane anesine how's that voice possible? Okay, peace. Okay, peace for that. But I'm imagining now in 2024, do you think there was just voting going on not so long ago?
Just the 29th.
And do you think that the youth is equating the sensitivity towards politics as the youth of the 70s?
Not really.
What do you think is the cause?
Hey, simnandi thina piano yabona we are misdirected. It's not like
misdirected is a good way of putting it.
Yabona, hey, the kids of today, bro, we think of the bottle and piano and all that. I don't think if you were to go today, walk into any tavern, I think we should have actually done that. Meet up with the youth on the street and say, "Hey, what is June 16 to you? What do you understand about June 16?" You'll be surprised.
Nah. But don't they learn that as a history subject?
Yeah, some of them might be ignorant and not really understand the union of 16th of June and what they had been taught about the struggle that happened in 1976. They would just say it's a youth day. You know, there's that Pride Day. People actually call it Pride Day. Is it Heritage?
Yeah, it's Heritage Day.
I'm telling you, people won't even understand what is heritage. I remember there was somebody who was doing it on we had a YouTube page asking people, what do you understand? What is heritage in Xhosa? And people did not even understand, but they were celebrating heritage. So namhlanje, yes, we're talking about the sagas of these teams.
Of the teams. So yeah, let's not maybe only leave it there, because I was just said that we just come from politics, and I feel like youth of today is more about themselves and selfish. So the way it's sounding from the youth of that time is that they were not about themselves; they were about everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if like I don't feel like I don't know who to vote for. Don't show me Some people don't even take time to go and vote.
So let's not take away everything from the youth of today. Why? Because the conditions are now different. The atmosphere is different.
But are they happy? That should be the bigger question.
Are they happy? Maybe in what way?
Status quo.
Socially, I think they are fun. They go out, they're fun. You see, they don't take time to understand what's really happening. You will be surprised that nobody's understanding what is happening there, even with this talk about the government of national unity, the coalition. They don't understand. ANC, what, 40%? Nobody understands that. Why? Because the atmosphere is fine for kids of today. Back then, the order of the day was that a black child is disadvantaged. So they woke up every day, oh, it's me as a black child. So I have to work hard. I'm not free. My independence to be recognized as a black child. Whereas till now we wake up today and thinking, where am I going to get the Malika master weekend errands? Because things are fine. These guys did the job for us. Yeah, that's why we celebrate today what they did for us. Yeah. So maybe the thinking is different. Right? We wake up,
I don't want us to politicize it too much, because we may be navigating ourselves in a terrain that we don't know much about. And then we stand to be politically incorrect here and there. But I want us to look at it in the angle where we are like, no, these people were very youthful, as much as we are youthful in our time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tina, we are at liberty to find a way of choosing partners. And then how were the partners chosen at the time? But having looked at the political predecessors before the students, your Walter Sisulu, your Dato Owa Tambo, and Nabanye, you see Ukuthi, these people had stable partners. And then now you wonder, no man, this person, according to history, they were being exiled here, struggling there and whatnot there, but boom, a person has gotten married with a solid person, with a solid spouse. And then when did they find time for dating and courtship? This is the today's, more like today's topic. When did they find time?
They probably had all the time, man. Don't compare them with us. Tina, I get more with TikTok. Tina, we have TikTok.
But that's where you find people on TikTok, on social media, on all of that. So it's plethora of spaces, but still you struggle to find a meaningful partner. Those people who didn't were writing letters, they they had meaningful relationships. Is it the fabric of human thinking, or the way we think? Maybe the thought processes are different from that time and our time.
Mm-hmm. Remember, you mentioned the world evolving. So things have changed today. Now, these days you can go on a site and find, my name is Karabo, I'm from Lesotho, I'm 31, I've got 2 kids, I'm looking for a partner. So we've got... it's there, man. The selection is just too wide. Whereas maybe
this is the thing, when the selection has been very widened, and you are struggling because of that.
Maybe
it should be easy for you to find a life partner, because now you got TikTok, you got Tinder, you got
it's easy
Twitter,
to find
you got everything. You got the world, the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to find, but probably not that easy to settle. Maybe. To settle, yeah. So finding...
Why is it difficult to settle?
Maybe because it's too easy to find.
True.
The idea of easy come, easy go.
So it's not easy even for you to appreciate what you
Yeah.
And then that's I think that's you nailed it. You hit it.
I'll tell you my most respectful relationship that I had, which lasted for 6 years. The last one that I had, we met Cock Roof with my loved one. So imagine. I can imagine the likes of Hector Peterson. I don't think they even had time to go Cock Roof and actually dance. And did they? I mean, they would meet at rallies actually. Meet at rallies, and probably getting a woman that time was so difficult that to come to make sure. But these days, it's a bit not that difficult to get somebody. But it gets difficult to get somebody to settle with. But
it's quite a bit of a sad story then, if you put it that way. But to think about it, those guys, they've been exiled, they've been jailed, but still they retain their partners. Do you think today, if you are to go and ungabanjwa weekend one ubanjwa drinking driving uyokhululwa Sunday mhlambi ukhululwe court. By the time you come out mhlambi umuntu was sustained 2 relationships in that 2 days.
I'm telling you. I've got a friend who was in a 2-year relationship. They broke up in like February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. The woman was posting pictures of an engagement. Posting on the socials. She's engaging.
Cookies.
Ring. She's getting engaged to some nigga.
Yes.
So now you ask yourself, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, barely 6 months. She met somebody. Even go to the extent of understanding what we good. We say she was engaged. The guy bought a ring and everything. Well, but as we say, easy come, easy go. After a year or so, the girl was actually phoning my nigga. This was a wrong move, man. I'm gonna school you.
Yo.
So ngamanga ungela uyiwenza, umbhedo ungela uyiwenza thina manje.
Yes. Sorry. You know where I was staying in my old flat? There were some other people that were staying in other flats, my neighbors. We were not that many in that space. There was about 6 or 5 flats. So this one time I come back from Cock Roof, Jamba Nomora, I think who else? Dano Kubona and whatnot. We come back and then we're like, no, we're gonna chill at my place before they go off. It's at night. When I get here and I'm like, hey, I hear screams here. Somebody's crying inside one of the flats there. And as I come closer, this other guy, one of the flatmates there, he approaches me and says, Mzo, hey, that man is killing that woman there. And I'm like, okay. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't hear anything. We didn't hear anything when we were coming. So it was quiet. But until this guy comes to me and says, Mzo, hey, just go and intervene there. Something is going on there. This guy is a colored guy, and then maybe he felt like it wasn't his space to go and there. And plus he's like that. So, and I'm like, okay, fine. And okay, I'll sort it out. Later on, he comes and knocks at my flat and says, hey, there's noise there. And I go and I listen in order to try and knock and ask that guy, hey, because it's a guy I know, to ask, hey, man, what's going on here? Are you okay? I go in there and I'm like, I hear this woman's like, hey, come here. And they talk things about being naked and blah, blah, blah and whatnot. And I'm like, man, no, these people are doing into zabo. So they are into zabo, and I get to my flat. And then as I was just about to open, I hear a loud scream from that flat. And then Lamachita Booze, hey, man, I thought like those people were having sex. But like, no, they're like, no, there's no sex having there. And then we rush back, all of us now. We knock there. Hey, man, open up. That guy opens like this. And then he's naked. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on, man? And this guy's drunk. And he's angry. He's on the other side of the battle. And then I'm like, man, what's going on? Are you okay? What are you doing there to your wife? Why is she crying? She's screaming. Hey, this is my wife. You can't tell me. Da, 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 da. Okay. The other friends like, nah, let's open up this bag. Like, let's just beat this guy because he's beating a woman inside this house. But we decided, no, let's not take it upon ourselves because this guy had just locked the thing, and then we speak to the landlord. The landlord goes there. He's friends with the guy. Speak to the guy. They sort that thing out. Fine. So it so turns out that this guy is beating up this woman. So this woman opened up to other people. This guy works. He insists that woman must not go to work. And then he must stay at home. But that this guy found out this woman is chit-chatting on Facebooks and stuff. He's having people that he's chatting with. Maybe this guy saw these chats. That's why now he's coming to get aggro. So the point that I'm trying to emphasize here is that, yes, this guy came with his wife to stay there, and then he's doing everything for his wife, but through social media. Even though that woman didn't have even keys to open the flat. She was staying inside the flat. This guy insisted on not cutting a key for her. Where is she gonna go? Kind of vibe. So so social media and all of that have provided us with all of these possibilities of us to find other avenues of meeting people. But in so doing, we get to hang ourselves somehow. We got to trap ourselves. Like you were saying, we are not able to find a meaningful partner because it seems like we are going to find something better than what we have. Or we don't appreciate what we have because anyways, I can find another one. You understand? Those times, back in the 76, back in the times of politics, it was kind of like you had to find someone. And then I'm sure people didn't start dating at an early age at the time. So you were making a very informed decision because you're quite grown and you know what you're trying to do.
They would wait.
Yeah.
Till they're mature and understand for a bit of a... And you remember, though, in every topic that we make, I always refer to Abadabadala or Makulu.
Yeah.
Back then, people of the past had the privilege of growing up with Bomakulu and Tamkulu present, unlike us. When we are driven to the cities for greener pastures and highly likely grandparents are left back in Eastern Cape, so they're never present for Abisuku to give them. Yeah. So people of Dala, everybody's present. They watch Utamkulu and Makulu's relationship in front of them, so they want to emulate the same. Today, we have dating sites. We have what's that? Mothers of Cape Town. What do you call that? These things that. What of Durban and whatever.
Housewives.
Yeah. This is what grooms us, and everybody wants to be a slave queen today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got freedom, and we really don't know what's going on. Maybe we should ask ourselves. Maybe there was true love at the time, because let's look at Mhlambi Tata Landika Robert Sobukwe. When you read about his love life, it's that he was a proper person. He was a proper guy who was raised in Grafreinet, and who like. Because there was just a primary school where he was. There was no secondary school. And then he had to move elsewhere. They had to find ways and means, the parents to take him elsewhere. And you would think that, okay, a person of such stature who was described by a lot of other people and his friends as a person who had authority from a very young age, who could sort of, they would find someone in their own village. I mean, it is said that he met Veronica. He was still at a rally in Fort Hare as a student. And then while you are busy with your rally, with the movement, and you spark this someone. So you see someone attending this rally, woman, and then you stop whatever that you're doing, and then you go and have a chit chat there and say, can we meet for some coffee and stuff? And maybe chances are, Mamu Veronica was the one who was like, nah, that guy, I gotta go and listen to him. Because I'm not imagining a case where it is said that women were so upfront in politics.
They were not. Huh?
They were not. But now those that go to a rally and to be noticed by the guy that is speaking in the rally,
they should be,
Mamu Veronica, what were you trying to do?
Finest chick probably of the time.
What were you trying to do to the young man?
And I think it was a vibe, man, for you to be standing in front of the masses and talk about black consciousness and all that. You were the man. Today, for you to be recognized,
it's more about money now. Because obviously the guy was a student, he didn't have money.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But now in Doyabo, it grew till they got married. Because maybe there was true love then. When did they lose?
Probably because of this guy so much focused on lenders a toy and black consciousness and all these communists that they were up to. They never really had time, man, to
mess around.
So they'll be serious with whatever comes through. And if you check, when we did that research, the women that they got of that time, they were also proper women of proper caliber. They were professional women. Most of them got nurses. Mandela had a first wife as a nurse. I'm not sure. Veronica, what was Veronica eventually?
Veronica was a nurse.
And she was also a nurse?
Yeah.
It was not just it's some chick.
Yeah. And well, you must understand that, that's actually true. You must understand that being a nurse, being a teacher at the time, it meant that you did Form 1, Form 3, Form whatever that was being learnt at the time. And what strikes me here is that the proper men of the time who were sort of portrayed themselves as leaders and were pushing the movement, the same kind of women were wanting to be close with them. Right now, I'm sorry to say this, I know you guys must be hating me right now. Right now, you find a woman doesn't care about where they are, but they want a proper man. Every woman wants a proper man that's going to provide. So back then, those were women that were like, no, I've got a thing of my own. I'm a pillar of myself, by myself. And therefore, it was like, a great man meeting a great woman, and none of them had. You guys can Google the politicians and find out who their spouses were, who their wives were. You will find out that these were proper people that were involved. They were so involved in what the man was doing. I'm not sure if it was by coincidence that they met because their mentalities were matching in terms of how they think life should be shaped. Or the woman was like, I love this man, let me just support him no matter what. Because Utatu Robert Sobuko ended up being exiled, being imprisoned, and then Veronica had to raise the kids by herself.
And or maybe it was not documented, because we never now hear any stories that Veronica ended up having some estranged child with any other person while Sobuko was imprisoned. I don't know. Should we say it was maybe? But nah, man. If for Veronica's side, we could have been told about that. What we might not have got news about is probably these guys planting kids elsewhere.
Wherever they were going.
yeah, maybe they got a one-night stand. I don't think they were using condoms, those people at that time, because there was no HIV.
There was, I don't think there was
just
condoms.
ECG and, get a few roots, and tomorrow you're back online.
Yeah.
So, these guys, you'll be surprised. Robert, it was just not documented.
But no, it is documented that Umjida or Tatu Robert Sobuk. Why is this in today's terms? Why is this Shumana? Why is Katalele politics? But even Umdu sex twice is Shumana Lohlob. They strike the best. Mm-hmm. They strike the best women. All of these guys that are known not to be players. Utata wethu tatomkhulu lo semalini. Yeah, nasiyavakala izitori zakhe bakaba he was a bit of a charmer than the other guys. Ne? But Utata Robert Sobukwe you call la clips now from the other.
Yeah, there's that friend of his.
Friend of his who grew up with him who was saying, can we play that?
Who
was talking about which part of Skripa.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get an insight from this.
Let's get an insight from him.
Hilltown, it was a mixed school, boys and girls. He and I were called Stipa. Now Stipa is a chap who has no girlfriend. See, now these fellows, man, are always discussing books and that sort of thing, discussing this and that. They are hopeless, man. So he was like that at Hilltown. I don't remember a single woman who was his girlfriend. Who was Robert's girlfriend at Hilltown? No, we didn't have any girlfriends.
What is Hilltown? Hilltown is a college.
Hilltown's a school. It's about one move almost from his hometown.
It's a high school now.
Yeah, he was at Hilltown. It's a high school.
Okay, so, during the teen time, you got this girl, Ramzolo, and,
Yeah, these guys,
never remembers of anybody.
Of any woman who from high school. So look at that. Utato Robert, from the time as Usuge primary school, I would imagine you date at primary school. You're still too young. Even amatrabano wako are nothing. Empty. When saying I'm a page, you ngadlalanga winantika. We are high school, a Hilltown, Utipan, which would let us know Napa, who were busy, serious politics, he liked to Shakespeare, Shakespeare and what, which is why I'm trying no Veronica. Later on, he kept quoting these letters, writing in letters and stuff, romantic letters. Now, you guys do you guys write romantic texts or WhatsApps?
Right, if you try and compare this lifestyle this man is talking about letters and all that, hey, how do we do things today? When are you supporting the fact that the world evolves? You see, I always tell people, my friend told me the world evolves, but hey, the world is evolving to a certain direction.
The thing is, once you learn something, you cannot unlearn it. Mm-hmm. The society now, with the evolution of everything, technology, this, that, consciousness, this, that, and all of this awakening, we cannot be unawake now. Mm-hmm. Even if we can admire the lives of Dr. Robert Sobukwe, no, we want to live that kind of life again, because it was so pure. It was not tainted. Our lives are tainted. Yes, there are advantages to it, to the fact that we know so much. We know so much technology. We can conceal so much cheating that we can do. We can enjoy so many women and try to lie to the other one, who tell you are a cheater, you are what. And of which akusekho nyani now in that regard. But mhlawumbe be protected by the fact that technology was limited. We can give them credit and say, no, these guys were proper people. But largely, remember, these people were struggling socially. They were fighting apartheid. They didn't have room to be thinking about. Let's look at people that had to go and work in the mines.
Sure.
You understand? You leave your family for the whole year. You come back, you see them for just a month. You see your wife for just a month and kids here and there, and then you go back to the mines. And what kind of love existed in you that you want to respect a space that you only spend a small fraction of your life?
But so if you come to look at it, man, I don't know how. Maybe it was just not recorded, but they should definitely have been doing something, man.
No, those people didn't think the way you think, Wayne. Your ingqondo yakho inamaqhinga amaninzi. Those people, ingqondo zabantu bezingenamaqhinga and deceit.
Let's go biologically. How long can a man last with no sex?
What are you trying to say about that Mandela by the time he was in Robben Island? And it was only men there. What are you trying to say about those men?
That's why I'm saying maybe it was just not recorded. He probably had a mistress there, some
I've always
27 years, bro.
Besides that, I've always had thought, Wayne, in endorsement of what you're saying. When you at the farms where there would have been a garden boy for the boss, I don't know what they were being called, and then boss there, when you are a boy who tends to the cattle and everything and all of that, a farmer, mistress would have a cleaner there, a woman who is a cleaner, who washes dishes, who cooks and whatnot. When you as good when as a guy, while you are sitting in that farm to go back home, let's say you had a loved one at home, a girlfriend. Also, that woman who's a cleaner there has a husband or someone somewhere out there. But by some kind of coincidence, you guys are there. What kind of talk is happening between the two of you? How did these people respect each other? Even though that, okay, we are of the same race, these people are our bosses, and then, okay, this is it. I should still respect you because you are an employee here. Or maybe I respected my job that I don't want to mess around with this, with the cleaner here, with the maid, trying to maid. Yeah, man. Now alone, I don't want to do anything with the gardener here. Don't. The only thing of a school is about to meet garden meet boss law.
But have you ever heard of the ships where people apply jobs and they work in these ships that the cruise line? You don't know the cruise?
I know these cruise. What was?
These ships, I've forgotten the names, but there are these ships where rich people go on a cruise for some months. Usually it goes for like 4 months, 5 months. It goes from port to port. They're taking people from Africa to work on those ships. Very good monies. Like anything. You can be a DJ there, you can be a doctor, you can be a nurse, you can be a waiter, you can be a waitress. You go wake up, take a shower, you go and work. After that, you come back to your cubicle, you sleep, you rest, you wake up for another shift, you come and rest for 4 months, 5 months. Then you leave your loved one back at home. So it's almost coming back, bro. But I tried to apply for that job some years back. I don't want to do that now. I'm old. I don't think I'll be able to stay in these waters for those years. They even say they don't provide a room for you to say, no, but can I bring in my
wife and the kids?
Yeah. Unless if it's by coincidence that the woman qualifies. You are accepted in the same cruise line. But other than that, your woman has got to wait for 4, 5, 6 months while you are down there. But I've got a friend who is there. He told me, bro, they have sex. You have sex with whoever you want. Yeah, you have waitresses, you have those who do massage. So you meet in the corridors. Then weekend you go for a drink. There's areas where our civilians are going to have a drink. As much as they don't approve of people having relationships there, but people do bang each other. Yeah, and this person was actually telling me There are no condoms. It's just, but you can go and have as buffers at the local clinic inside there to prevent. So yeah, these things happen. Maybe they just have to be careful that you don't come with a child there now. Come pregnant from the ship.
That's why I said the other time that they will always, wherever you get put, there will always be your diaper. So if you don't have a control for yourself, then you will just be messing around everywhere.
But
Queenstown ngoku and sozophela neviki ungabona khanga ubone umuntu umthandayo. Ungathatha uyobekwa eMlazi today, you'll meet someone that meets your
No, you actually meet them when you're on the way to Mlazi.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So the control, if one doesn't have control. So now I'm trying to think about these old men. They must have had a whole lot of control. Look at Utata Mulandi, Utata Desmond Tutu. Utata Desmond Tutu is a bit of I don't wanna.
He's controversial.
He's controversial. Okay, man, he's outspoken, he's got that bubbly personality and whatnot. And then he must be likable wherever he goes.
Especially during that time. Huh?
Yeah.
He was so outspoken, yes. But records only show that man met a woman when he was probably what? In high school?
He was still at high school. He hadn't even.
Then throughout the years,
he was with the same.
He was with the same woman, person. And he was chilling there in Cape Town, Baba, respected, respected honorable, and just had that one high school lover.
Yeah,
bruh. These guys.
Yeah, so they say he was born in Klerksdorp.
Tuti is what is it? Xhosa?
We have Xhosa, half Sotho. I think half Sotho, half Xhosa, half Sotho. That Desmond Tutu. But udibene naye in the church choir musunanzika lanti ifro yakhe.
Was it what? Limpo, is it?
Udimpo. Leah Shengane. But umfazi wakhe ngumXhosa and but I think we will have Xhosa, have Ndondoni, but even though what I think may be more controversial when is the fact that lo muntu wenkonzo ne as Archbishop and ask into the
what is it, Roman Catholic?
I don't know whether I don't know Catholic or I think so. As Archbishop,
what is an Archbishop?
Umuntu ongaphezulu kwabishop. There must be bishops that are here. Then
but they're allowed to marry.
I don't know if you're like probably
a bishop. Does a bishop marry? No, we should actually. We're supposed to search on that.
Yeah, I don't know. We can always.
So they should be allowed because this man had a wife, right?
He had a wife, but now I'm thinking now what happens with the balance of you being an let's say, because in a way, let's think of it this way. He's leaned towards the church so much, but yet he found time to seduce someone with church choir. Is it church choir? Why are you doing?
What is this? School choir
or something. It had something to do. Yes. Because choir. They talk about the hymns. So they
met Leah Shengane at a church youth group meeting where he was undoubtedly more interested in her smile than the hymn they were supposed to be learning.
Okay, that's funny. But you see now that let me talk about our ages. At the ages where I'm at school, I meet someone. I might have met someone at a high school that I had crushes on, met someone in church that I may have crush on, everywhere. But for me to leave and be away, because Archbishop Desmond Tutu, he had to leave because of this calling yake, biblical studies.
Did he go somewhere? Did he go? Where did he? Oh, you need to study these things.
Yeah, he went to start. He was away for a long time.
They don't say that in this history.
Well, I don't know. A lot of people can Google this. He was away from Leah. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
And then him being away from Leah for so long, and when he's done with whatever he's doing, he's coming back now to marry that same person. What does it say about the affections that they had compared to us who were like, yeah, well.
Hey, those people were loyal, bro.
This is where did they get this? Or how did we lose this?
They didn't have time, probably,
to do what?
So why? Because
now I want to say it was genuine love, because remember, these people. Yeah. The other one, let's Utatu Robert Sobukwe, like it was in a rally where while he's speaking, he's seeing this Veronica woman. He's like, nah, I gotta go and speak to that one. You are busy doing a speech, daughter, and you are still being distracted by someone. That should say something. It's not that just lust. And I'm very sure it's not a person who is in the midst of other people. You are not seeing the body and stuff. You can't say, you wanted to tap and
saw Inyash,
saw Inyash and stuff.
So this is our problem, you know. So we actually look at the face. You want to check the Inyash.
Yeah, so it must have been genuine love. And now to say this guy at a church choir, is it church youth choir?
You
close when you are at church. You close off because you know that God can see everything. Remember, the Lord is watching you. You should be like, nah, I can't do anything. I must be well behaved. For him to say to be a prospective student of theology who's going to be an archbishop in the future, to still be looking at girls in the church choir, it must have been real love. That you can even overstep the all-seeing eye of God to say that, oh, Tiklan, Kolela, Ulian Yamtande, never watch that to be sure.
But even now, in our time now, Zoman, it's just that when we grew up now and came to the cities, we forgot about church. But I remember the time my grandmother would enforce that every Sunday you wake up and you go to church. Those who were older than us, it was a thing, man. For Utwa, who put this money, eventually the Bazo Shata, no CC, from the same church. Hey, it was something big for you to meet a woman in the same church, and it's embraced by Abandabatala because they all saw you, the two of you growing up in the church. It was there, man, during our upbringing. It's just that it's not there anymore today. Well, we don't even go to church today, I think.
Wayne, I want to say...
We preach online. We see a concert online these days.
No, but I don't think... I think loyalty has got... I think what you're trying to say is that church had a big role in terms of the loyalty of people.
Mm-hmm.
No, not all of them are known for going to church. I don't remember hearing those Tatu Mandela, no Tatu Banbani, or Steve Biko being too big on church, but still they were still loyal. Where did they get that loyalty from?
Maybe when they were pushing Lenduba, they were loyal, even if they didn't want to be loyal. Bro, you're trying to push something around church as if it's the one that grooms a person to be a loyal person. No, I can tell you a story of a guy. I was saying that with the Ututu in mind.
Oh, okay, I get you.
His upbringing was from a church.
Yeah.
Then eventually he met somebody in church. So Yongindo Yakiman had to be Ganji. Why? Because it was recognized by the church and had the blessings of the church. But again, to say these guys were so loyal, Bob Digo and Sobukwe. How much time did they stay in prison? They didn't have time for Uchola because they were there in Robben Island, probably. Mandela, 27 years. I think Sobukwe, how many? Was it not 10, 11 years?
Probably something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. And one other thing, I don't know if you knew about it. Sobukwe was the only prisoner. If you want, you might need to have a search on that. Allowed to actually bring his wife and kids once, twice a month.
Okay,
at the island.
that's nice.
And he was not in a cell. He had a little house there. It was actually like he walked. Actually, he walked. It was proper kitchen there,
kind
but of zinc and some those bed with metal legs, pipe and all that. So his family was allowed to visit. I don't know why he had that privilege, because when you get there, actually they were divided according to race. Black, colors, Indians, D section for blacks, that's where the Mandelas and all that, colors. So that the privileges were different. These guys will get trousers, these guys will get short, these guys will get beds. For Mandela, they didn't have beds. Swoopy had a little house and was allowed to have his family to visit. Mandela would just speak to Winnie
through Atlantic.
Yeah, because they were afraid, Winnie even writing letters and putting inside bread and giving.
But mhlambe bengafuni COVID wasulane nge-COVID. I'm joking. Okay. Yeah, but I what you're saying that about that love letters. I remember hearing a story ska Tata Ulandiga uKhrisani Chonyani. Yena kuthiwa relationship yakhe noDimpho.
Khrisani.
Yeah, Khrisani. No, relationship yakhe noDimpho was kept very secretly, because I'm not sure if it has to do with the fact that with Komanisi and whatnot. But there's words that were as Kachulwe kuDimpho. Wati, apparently she was laughing and saying it's what the government of that time, they underestimated the power of love letters.
Mm-hmm. Is it where
I don't know how
saying...
to decipher. I don't know whether to decipher that, and I'm sure she might have been saying a lot of things were being communicated through just love letters. I'm sure at the time the letters were looked at they
definitely.
I love you, Dimpho, da da da,
they definitely
said, your screen wa ifundwe cleanly. I figure kuye we decipher ndimxelela uba ndifihle into ethile kwi-rifle efihle endaweni ethile kwinto ethile esendaweni ethile kwinto ethile esendaweni ethile.
So these letters were in English, or?
Obviously, they'll probably find a translator if it's not in English.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are so blessed. So all these guys we're talking about, they're all of Xhosa origin, eh?
Yeah,
most of them. I mean, Biko, Hani,
yes, Sobukwe,
Mandela.
Yeah,
they say.
But there was a lot of others. Or Motsoaledi. Nabanye of the who are not of Xhosa origin, no Motsoaledi or Buthelezi, Nabanye. There were such people at the time. But I want to say this. Maybe this is a good time. I may not find time to say this again. The reason, I once had an argument with this other guy saying that Xhosa, Xhosas were quite clever. They were babesi shop stewards in the mines. They had all of these fancier jobs and all of that. Ne? We call that general saying.
Whereas every other black nigger would be down under the mine.
It was like that. They had all of these privileges. And then I want to answer this now. I want to say this thing now because I don't want us to be wandering around this. It has... clever. Even in Joe's job, Xhosa clever. Oh, nice, Xhosa clever. And Xhosa aportray ngathi ngawo aside nabelungu and whatnot. You must remember, education where it started at Lovedale College,
Lovedale, yes.
And Lovedale was somewhere in the Ciskei or in the Transkei, in the areas of Xhosa. So whoever had to come from anywhere around the country.
Not to say education started. I think that was the only institution that allowed black students to take up tertiary education.
Of course. Yes. Not necessarily yona yodwa Lovedale College. Even their high schools, they were not easily found. That's why Utata Robert Sobukwe had to leave Hafreinet to go a hill town up from the high school.
Oh yeah,
people had to move away. So yes, the establishment. But let me trail my thought so that I don't confuse people. Otherwise, I may be causing more damage in what I'm trying to say than I intend to. So the Abelungu, where they settled largely, which is why as now Xhosa zinegama labesilungu Port Elizabeth, East London, Don yabona zonke, King Williamstown, all of those, the white settlers, the British settlers, they went to penetrate these lands, and then because the natives of those places were quite lenient, they quickly, because amaXhosa kwawona who fights ezizezawo. And then the white people, the British people, they took advantage of that. And then religion, firstly, penetrated the religion, but from there, because those convent schools came up.
I went to a convent school.
Yeah, well, those convent schools and all of that. And then while all of the other natives hadn't been infiltrated, what our filtrated through amaXhosa. Then amaXhosa akwazi grasp the English language better than anyone. Not meaning that they were better than anyone. They were the ones that were able to converse in English. They were the first ones. From then, that Lovedale Stethangayo, which was in equal vicinity amaXhosa. So this gave amaXhosa a slight advantage in terms of we oppressors, in terms of nabo. Okay, if bafike kulo ndawo uthile, they must bring a Xhosa guy in, so that tell these people what we are saying and translate it back.
Hence, umzini ezinsizwa.
And umzini ezinsizwa, it perpetuates that Uchawe Ayana, he's the one who's there, as far as I'm concerned, and whatnot. It perpetuates that stereotype. It's not false founded. It is truly founded, but the circumstances of the time had favored amaXhosa, and then we positions that make them. It was merely because of English. It was not because they were smarter than anyone. They were not smarter than Zulus. They were not smarter than anyone. It's just that they found themselves they were lenient enough to be, or maybe gullible enough to be overtaken by Abelungu, Babakariza, Babatema, and use amaXhosa to go and infiltrate everywhere, to tame everywhere, to make it ease of access to every other place. That's why you find a lot of, you're coming back to your question about Osobukwe, you guys are blessed, blah, blah, blah. It's not about blessing. It's not about the fact that they are being Xhosa. They were at the right place. amaXhosa were at the right place at the right time. It's not right for us Africans, the way things turned up, but it was right for the direction things were turning. So it favored amaXhosa and the setup of the time. I just hope that I articulated that clearly, because here we raise a whole lot of animosity and people saying you are praising amaXhosa because now Xhosa, blah, 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 blah. No, those people were advantaged because the education and abelungu interact nabelungu, therefore banika a competitive advantage in terms of this civilized society. Whether I agree with this civilized society or not, that's a question for another day. We found ourselves here now because of decisions that were taken previously. But okay, let's get back to the topic. But so, and also I think a position of power gives you advantage when it comes to romance. And then you will pick the cream of the crop when it comes to who you are going to pick, because you get attention of all of the women.
It's always like that. It's just that we are doing it the wrong way today. We use like money, like Machangura straight. Like. But now those guys were portrayed to be wise men of their time. Like as you say, who was it Leah who saw a man there giving a speech on the stage, And she's like, oh,
It was Veronica.
Veronica,
and also Veronica plus nolantika nomfazi uDimpo naye uthe yona nto yamnantsika that swept her off kuChris Hani was the fact that wamva ethetha phaa that the way he was addressing people, the way he was like. So I think love then had nothing to do with money, because these guys, they had no money.
No.
You are loving a man that's not going to be there. He's arrested there, or he's being killed there by the...
But I don't think they enjoyed their love life when I'm with these people. Why? Because, like, where were we reading where somebody was said to be, like, buying a relationship, yeah, we know that. I mean,
Chris Hani no Dimpo.
Yeah,
but I guess mhlawumbe protector.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They probably did not even really enjoy it. Imagine having a relationship and doing that way, I feel at the same time. And you have to, how were they sleeping? Actually, I'm trying to figure out.
The exiled guys. How do they, okay, you can't date here in South Africa because you have to run away. You are a young man because you are being hunted. It's causing a treason and stuff. What right? Zambia, exile Zambia, maybe through Botswana. In terms of love life, why do these people they stay there for years in exile?
You know, this Duduzane was actually born in Mozambique.
Ne?
Duduzane Zuma.
No, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, his father was in exile in Mozambique at the time when he was born.
But he was born of a woman that he met in Mozambique.
No, the woman. I might not be sure, but
that's the point that I'm trying to get at. You are staying there 30 years in exile, Wayne, and then once things are okay now, we go vote. We are while you went to exile, and your love is still burning that much, and then you
not really. Utata wethu struggles to make terms with Winnie when he came back. So there were challenges, man. There were challenges. And
well, I think leo into angifuna ufakaza kakhulu kuyo, but I think the umama Winnie, she had gained, because she's not a meek woman, she's a very strong in in herself. She had her own fights that she was like taking upon herself, besides the fact that indoda yakhe iselantikeni.
Yeah, but because when you watch Invictus, the movie that they did about Mandela, they portray that they started falling apart because of the fact that when Mandela came out of prison, he decided to have talks with the apartheid government, and let's have a government of national unity. I remember there's a clip where Mandela is actually standing in the house looking through the window after his release, and Winnie's there. She's having a rally. She's like, we're not backing down. We're going forward. Yes, Mandela is out, but no. We're not backing down.
This is exactly the kind of militants I'm talking about.
Mandela was actually looking through the window, seeing Winnie. If you're watching Victor,
that's my girlfriend.
Then she comes back. What do you mean? I saw Mandela, you know, people, that's why now people, they have that talk of saying Mandela was a sellout. Mandela said to me, no, man, don't do that. We talked, he said, right, we nothing. No, Tata. Ask me. I was with them when we were in prison. Don't come in.
Yeah.
He said, right,
no, it's possible that Mandela may have been Wakalelu Stay Soft when he was there. But I think Stay Soft was Kalelwayo was a realization in himself. But you know what? There's a newer fight that we need to fight now. The arms have not taken us nowhere. So, and I still feel like even today, South Africa is at a state, you know when you get given what you want, and then you don't know what to do with it. Like you got to I feel like that's where we are, but I still want us to speak more on the relationships. But how come ke ngoku utata wethu angene kumfazi wogxa wakhe ke ngoku?
So I sit down at times and think about that.
Was it strategy?
You know, nobody talks about this, but guys, I don't know, in a million years, this is going to remain a mystery. How South Africa, with a population of almost 60 million people, Mandela decides to go and get a fellow president's widow wife. Man, I don't understand how. But probably the relationship was actually going on.
From the time he was in prison?
I mean, yeah. How do you just leave President Zok? I sit down at times and think about it.
I think that was, it might have had orchestrations that we are not aware of, Tina. Political orchestrations. Not necessarily, maybe to iron out relations.
Because she's still alive, huh?
Yeah, she's still alive.
She went back to Mozambique, or she's here?
I have no idea. Mama overseas, apparently, so yeah.
2 nations, yeah.
2 nations, yeah.
But I think they should call her on a podcast too. We want to know.
Yeah, but you know, also the other thing is that who else could have filled the shoes, Skakaka, if we were there are 60,000 women. But remember kwalento bangaba utata Mandela waba no Winnie. Winnie was a kind of woman who was strong kwayena herself. She was like and then all of these guys, if you can look at their trends, from Tatu Krisani, Tatu Sobukwe, bonke, no Tatu Joe Slovo, whom we didn't speak about yet. Now, Tatu Joe Slovo, what Chata Ruth First.
Ruth First, yeah.
Who was unfortunately bombed. What you later bomb, yes. What you later bomb. But we are born on Mamu Ruth was like a political mind by herself. So it was a merging of two like minds between Tatu Choslov and Mamu Ruth. So all of these guys, you can see the trend of the caliber of women that they were that they went after as wives.
Where was Ruth First from?
I think it was Cuba or something. I don't know. Should we fact check?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. All right.
But in the fact, Mandela, there's something that is happening there. What's this guy, Mandla? Is it Mandla? That guy now?
Mandla?
The guy who is there, the tall guy who is now in Muzulu, Mandela Lumfan.
Mandla Mandela?
Is it Mandla? It's Mandla, eh?
Yeah, Mandla Mandela.
Do you know his wife is not South African?
Oh, she was assassinated in Mozambique or she was in exile by a parcel bomb built by South African police.
Oh, this woman was not black?
No, Uchoslov is not black now, is she?
Oh, yeah, by the way, yes, yeah. But Ruth First, originally, where is she from?
South African anti-apartheid.
Okay.
Was born, but let's just check where was born in. Sorry guys, we need
to fact check that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruth First. Yeah, was born in Johannesburg in 1925.
She's South African.
Yeah, she is South African.
Mandla, his wife is not South African. Some wife from somewhere there, Canary Islands or somewhere.
Nah.
Mandela took from Mozambique, and I'm told the other brother, the 3 of them, they took wives from I don't know somewhere. I don't know why they decided to do that.
No, but remember, once then you carry that Mandela surname, then you attract a whole lot of
probably, yeah.
Yeah, a whole lot of bees, because there's a honey there that you have. And yeah, I don't want us to delve so much into that one because nam isename yam ndingumzodidi Tutu ka.
I was
part of Tutu, Desmond Tutu, I'm related.
I want to remove the car now.
Yeah, but it's easier for the younger generations. You might find that abantu inzala kaMandela mhlambe from the Mandela family, they intermarry with all of these nationalities, because they are quite attractive. They come from a very rich heritage, and understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some people want to rub shoulders with that. I don't know the rationale. I don't know.
And maybe because their fathers, all these people we're talking about, most of them were in exile, so they had that feel of being out of the country, that exposure of being in Malaysia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana. Hence, maybe they managed to get their relations from wherever they.
So Wayne, looking back, as we have a very lovely slideshow of a summary of what the country looked like back then in terms of the politics, we still want to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, how then can we equate what was done by the people that were involved in politics going forward? Because right now, a young man who wants to go and it's depressing to see women now, not women of that time. It was attractive for a man who shows signs of a leadership to a woman. Right now, should you be in politics, Wayne, kuthiwe nanka kodwa unanko lo uzosdika ngevote yo ama 2000 ajonga kude le aqonda hayi wethu you upukadla the small.
Yabo.
So how can we revive that spirit now? To say we know as a country we had inequalities. Now we have our own kind of inequalities now, different kind of inequalities. How can we have that same kind of brain that changed those inequalities so that we can change the inequalities that we're facing now?
I don't think it's going to be easy, Mzo. Why? Because look at myself. I went into the music industry telling myself I'm an R&B DJ. I'm an R&B DJ. I do R&B strictly. My strength is R&B. Though I've done music for the past 15 years, played in clubs, been on radio and all that. But I tried to keep on pushing this narrative. I mean, R&B, I slightly got myself just pushed out of the system. I wonder why, because I'm there trying to say, na, shoo. When my 2000, now I'm going to stick out Dolly Parton. So at some point, man, I mean, I'm trying to put myself in the Imlo or Tato Pico and want people to emulate how the Picos of the time were living their life. Man, I also back of one thing.
Yeah, so back. If you get a color, and it's quite motivation. It looks to me like as Babes Tetanus Dorizaband, those guys, they didn't even think about. They were not doing those things that they were doing to impress women. Women got impressed because those guys did those things. Whether they get impressed or depressed, those guys couldn't care less. They are like, yeah, that's my fucking man.
Maybe the selection was so limited, probably.
Has there ever been a time where women were lesser in number than men?
No, I'm saying bosses. In terms of the selection.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It was Pico, where's Pico? Pico, that guy. Mind you today, bruh. Hey man, we've got people who do rituals there who are better than us.
Hey, bruh, say that again. But I still think as a story Skamamu Veronica being seen in a rally by Utatu Sobukwe, she was being strategic, that one. But that's my theory. I don't want us to delve much onto it. But I want us so that I don't want us to end this one because we are not going to always talk politics. Anything that's got politics, let's wrap it up on this episode when it comes to the sagas of that remembrance of the class of 76.
Yes, you did explain to our viewers.
I
explained that. We delved into more of
what can we learn from that, Wayne, and that we can take forward?
I would love to bring anything that is related to the class of 76, but it's not going to be easy, man. We are supposed to learn a lot, but as I said, the atmosphere is different from how the life was designed at that time. There was apartheid. We do not have apartheid in Namhlanje. there was these rallies. We do not have rallies. We don't need to go to a rally. Instead, we need to go to rants, not a rally. So it's a bit different, man. Where are we meeting tomorrow and talk about the next move about changing our education system to Afrikaans. So tomorrow we're meeting, let's strategize this. And these days we're not talking about that.
But we live freestyle.
Yeah.
See, freestyle and I don't like it because we're not paving for the future. We're just like, I'm alive now. Okay, let me just get a glass of wine. Where am I going to get wine tomorrow? Okay, we're drinking. Yeah, it's fine. I've got someone. Let's go find some chicks. Let's do that. This is the life that we are thinking is not thinking forward. I'm imagining. Imagine then if the women of the time, while the man is in the mines, while the man is in exile, while the man is in prison, while the man is being hunted by police, they didn't take care of children.
If you're imagining if they did not take care of children.
Yeah, if they had given up. If they're like, you know what, this is not what I came here for. This man that I came here for is not here. Imagine a woman marries Wayne Upper, and then the next thing, Wayne treason, government, police, Wayne. Do you think women of today will sit in your house waiting for you or concealing you or protecting you?
No, the fact that when you're a broke-ass nigger busy trying to push this politics agenda and you are poor,
it's a turn-off by
it's
itself.
a turn-off already.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
These women were actually brave, man, to
exactly to stick with this guy with broke ass.
He's a broke-ass nigger, and he's saying, no, baby, super right. No, push one day is one day. And they'd hope, these guys, but most of them did not actually live to see their fight and enjoy the fruits of it.
True.
Yeah. Look at today, we celebrate June 16. Hector Peterson, he actually died on the day. Yeah, Hector Peterson, he was shot and killed on the same day of June 16, 1976. It's fighting for...
But humanity of the time had a different kind of moral fiber than the moral fiber that we have
today.
We have a different moral fiber too. I see a guy, I see that, hey, Gashuba, hey, my police are now cocky people, Nazi Chagas, Nazi Dondon, hey, Bafetu, let me save myself. We are all about saving ourselves. And South Africa has been a country that has been. That is it. There's a speech by Utatu Bandubiko that sort of like sums the intelligence of that time. Yes, you know what? I think we've grown to raise our intelligence as people of today or youth of today. You youth of today. Maybe I'm not you.
So as a youth and
But your intelligence is invested in things that don't prolong humanity, but they are all about the selves. Yeah, this is me and whatnot. It's that vanity. Can we play that so that we can hear that the eloquence of what Utatu Bandubiko? He was very young. He died at the age of what? 31.
31. Yeah, 31. He was born in 1946.
Yeah.
And died in 1977.
Yeah.
31. This nigga was so young, man.
But a 31-year-old now, in this DNA, he's still going after chicks and whatnot. That guy was married already.
Yeah.
He was married. He was an activist.
Went to exile.
He went to exile. He was being hunted by police. He was being hated by the government.
We have a speech. People should listen to a speech that he gave at that time.
Just the eloquence of the guy. It's quite interesting that. Look at me. I'm older than him. I'm still alive. I haven't died for any of the. All right, let's hear this. Okay, technical team?
Now, the history of it starts off after 1963-64. If you remember that era, there were many arrests in this country, which stemmed from underground activity by PAC, by ANC, and this led to some kind of political emasculation of the Black population especially, with the result that there was no participation by Black in the articulation of their own aspirations. The whole opposition to what the government was doing to Black came in fact from white organizations, mainly student groups like NUSAS, the Liberal Party, the Progressive Party, and Blacks were articulate in any sense were far few by comparison to the olden days, and they were dispersed amongst these particular organizations. Now, when I came to varsity, which was sometime in 1966, in my own analysis and that of my friends, there was some kind of anomaly in this situation where whites were in fact the main participants in our oppression, and at the same time, the main participants in the opposition to that oppression. It implied, therefore, that at no stage in this country were Blacks throwing in their lot in the shift of political opinion. The arena was totally controlled by whites in what we called totality of white power at the time. So we argued that any changes which are to come can only come as a result of a program worked out by Black people. And for Black people to be able to work out a program, they need to defeat the one main element in politics which was working against them, and this was the psychological feeling of inferiority, which was deliberately cultivated by the system. So equally too, the whites, in order to be able to listen to Blacks, needed to defeat the one problem which they had, which was one of superiority. Now, the only way to come about this, of course, was to look anew at the Black man in terms of what it is in him that is lending him to denigration so easily. So, first of all, we said as Black students, we could not participate in multiracial organizations, which were by far white organizations, because in this country, there is an overwhelming number of white students at university. Secondly, these organizations were concentrating mainly on problems which were affecting the white student community. And thirdly, of course, when it came to political questions, they were far more articulate than the average Black student because of their superior training. And because of their numbers, they could outvote us on any one issue, which meant that NUSAS, as an organization, gave political opinions which were largely affected by the whiteness of that particular organization. So then in 1968, we started forming what is now called SASO, the South African Students Organization, which was firmly based on Black consciousness, the essence of which was for the Black man to elevate his own position by positively looking at those various systems that make him distinctively a man in society.
Okay.
Make him distinctively a
A
man in
man in
society.
society. Because
When did he give this speech? Is it after 94? Oh, so this man was dead already.
no, he died in 77.
But now, why does he seem to refer to events that happened? Like white people that time, a Black person that time. Why?
No. He's talking. This speech was given before he died, and also before.
But why is he giving reference of saying as if now white people that time and you see a Black child that time? It was still the same.
No. He is telling it is his time, but he's talking about the time he got to varsity. He got to varsity in 60. He says in 64 when he's 64 something. He got there. So he speaks about those events This is in the 70s now.
Oh, he's speaking about events that happened during his time.
During his time when he was at
He
varsity.
kept referring to a certain
Yeah,
time.
because that formation of that SASO and that SASM, all of those organizations that were formed. But still, how do you then form a student organization if there's only two of us who are black students at Stellenbosch?
Which university did he go?
I don't know. You guys, let's Google it and put it right here. Here.
Who we're talking about who now?
Still Biko.
Biko.
Yeah.
But
he was young. But what gets to me about his story is that look how eloquent he is. He may have been 30 or lesser than here. 30,
he died at 31.
He died at 31.
So he's in the 20-something.
He's in his 20-something. Look at the eloquency. Look at the wisdom of his speech.
In the 70s, bro.
In the 70s, bro. And then now look at the fact that when you are 20-something, your thoughts are no deeper than your immediate needs. Look at a 20-something year old now. You think we'll try period 35. And then at 30-something years old, they feel like, I'm still too young, I'm still staying at home and whatnot. This guy had a wife already, he had all of this.
Look at
what happened?
The new president of Senegal. Yeah. Cameroon, Senegal. He's 44.
Okay.
And the new president of Burkina Faso, he's 40-something as well. So, hey, bruh, when you're approaching the 40s, you ever think you can rule Mzansi anytime soon? So, I think it's how 44, that guy is the new president of Senegal. Yes, new president of Senegal was inaugurated like 2 months ago. He's 44. But I don't understand that nigga because also he's got 2 wives.
That's one other thing that we didn't speak, because we speak about this kind of thing. So sorry, I just got reminded by you, but you wanted to say something about that guy?
I'm saying, so probably the way the upbringing also constitutes, or maybe, you remember they say greatness, some people achieve greatness. They have to achieve greatness. Then the people are born great. There are some people who are born great. Then there are people who just have greatness thrust upon them. We differ. Some people have to push. Then they become these people. Then wow.
Yeah.
Then like I work at that estate that I work at. It was established 300 years ago, and it's being taken over generation after generation. And the old man who is there is 99. He's the son who is remaining and he's owning all that property. It's worth, I don't know, maybe 20 million or something, 20 million rands.
Wow.
And he's already grooming his 45-year-old son to take over that estate. And that son has got like a 10-year-old boy who is, so there's this Mkolo who is 99, and there's this guy who is 45, and there's this boy. They walk around that estate. So this boy has greatness thrust upon him. This little boy who is coming, whether he doesn't want to study and he wakes up and just watch Netflix the whole day, he's gonna be rich. So he has greatness thrust upon him. I'm just trying to enhance that statement about there are people who are born great. Some people have to achieve greatness, and there are people
who are hand given.
Then you said something came up into your mind.
It was concerning part of politicians. Like Umsholu, there's a number of wives. And also, Tato Kachabuteles, he had a number of wives. And just that one aspect in terms of relationships and couplehood. How do you couplehood?
What do you want to say?
But we didn't speak much about that aspect in terms of our politicians, those that had a number of wives, like the guy you are talking about.
But it's normal for black people, man. Black men for a black man.
Is that
the
still
more
true love?
you become
True for all of
financially
us.
stable. All black men, the moment they become financially stable, they feel, I need to have another woman.
Do you love all of them at the same time? Is that true love for all of them?
It's just being. You see, the other thing, I don't know if I mentioned it in the other podcast, that a black child is born with nothing. A white kid at 16 already, bamfundis ukuqhuba, then he has a license, then he gets a golf, kamakulu. It's easy going. And a black child, when you complete grade 12, then mama wants you to get a job, and you start also pushing for abanabako. And you are working throughout your life. And for you to now have success, boom, you're already 45. That's when you start establishing, because and all that. That's when you now think of buying yourself a proper car, buying yourself a proper house. And now that's when you're also like in the community. That's the financial stability. Black men in financial stability. Now we are born old. Oh, katipanje kunje. And imagine where you now can go to places because of the financial step. Now that's when, if you check, you find that somebody had a woman for all the time and even has kids, then boom, say no matter paying at 50, dating this 20-year-old. That financial status makes them now feel, I want something younger. I mean, I missed this during my time. They never could afford a 20-year-old because the financial status did not allow. Black men, you find them with abandona because it's that thing, the breast candy and all that, because the financial status did not allow you.
You're feeding that inner child
that
lost.
I must mention this man at some point. Like they were giving an example of Michael Jackson. When somebody was telling me this, Michael Jackson at the age of 5, he was already in the Jackson 5 singing on the stage. So he didn't have time to play with teddy bears and the dolls in the house.
Yeah. True.
Because already he had to go and perform.
Yeah.
Now when he was about 30, he started buying teddy bears. So meaning he skipped a certain stage in life and somehow it will hit on you and you need to come back to it.
Yeah.
So a black man, he's pushing life throughout. Whereas if your parents are also not even rich, now you are on your own. You push. You're 40, 45. Oh, now you are stable. Now you start saying easy, you get wife number 1. You're still not satisfied. You want another one. Uzuma, when he started having these wives, how old was he? You would find he was probably at 50 something, and he still had, there was Ngosazana. He even left one already.
No, but on the other hand, we need to understand the cultural aspect of it. Culturally, it is seen as you are rich if you have many wives, and then it's the culture. It's your culture sometimes.
It's not seen as if you are rich.
It's prosperous. You are prospering.
Yeah.
Which I
think is nonsense anyway.
When this it doesn't make sense.
Tina, let's not youth and dollar. Why? Because those women would actually support their art of saying, no, I accept and I'm taking taking wife number 1, number 2, and keep them in the house. And it's official. Was it
it's a sitcom that used to play when he was taking wives everywhere. Zulu one,
when you have some few rands, few dollars, whatever it is. Yeah.
So far, this means speak about yourself.
Okay.
But okay, guys, this was just a special episode. I don't know, say a song, and I want you guys still.
Oh, nice. We are above
Masi song, and then I wanted us to do this very special episode because I want us to look at where we come from, so that we can consciously relook the state that we are in. And then from here, we see how we pave the way forward. A black man hasn't had it easy. And therefore, we should not be living in oblivion when things are okay for myself. Therefore, South Africa is a better place. It is not. As you see the slideshow, it shows you the struggles of the Khoi people, the struggle of people trying to make means, the struggles of our families, where we come from. It has not been easy for us. So from here onwards, if you don't want to put a political hat that points to any political organization, put a political hat upon your own head to say that I'm going to make a change in the society. I'm going to help a certain situation, have a cause that you live for. Besides eating, having fun, and all of that. Help someone else. Each one must help another one as Black people, so that we don't become so selfish. And that way, we will continue that legacy. Not in the same way that the people that we talk about lived. We will live it differently. Obviously, we are living at different times. But let's reshape this country and try to find a common ground where we can all pull in the same direction.
Usually I come with those, sombering words when we are closing down. Hey, I'm listening to it and I'm saying, hey, let's hope it doesn't touch it, so that I also mentioned it. Hey, bro, you touched everything. Hey,
I'm sorry.
But before song, man, just last words. Election 2024 and the coalition, we good? We don't really talk politics. We guys try and leave that for
but let's delve into
it. Related to today's topic.
Let's do it, Wayne.
Let's do what? An episode about politics?
No. Let's talk about it now. I want us to get back to people come here to hear about couplehood. So but next time let's get back to our normal routine.
Into endiyaziyo ke ama-slay queen eJoburg basengxakini ngoku.
Why?
Eba ninjas in Joburg, they splash all that money. Imali yethu le. This taxpayers money and spending it on slay queens. Now DA is there, baba. Yeah.
Things are not going to be easy. But I still feel like this country needed this kind of shift because people were being complacent, people forgot about where we come from. But I think after watching this episode, they will know where we come from. And it should spark isazela somntu wonke ukuthi, no, you know what? I'm doing injustice to people, and therefore let me try to facilitate a change. A change shouldn't be facilitated by just a person who's in a position of power. Also, us in the grassroots, we have a percentage to play in making sure that the society is changing.
But a lot of people were complaining that, so how does the ANC now have a GNU with the likes of DA? Why? Because if you look at where the grassroots of DA is from, the likes of Tony Leon, who is actually from, what's that party?
National Party,
Tony Leon,
and all of them, you will see in the slideshow here. You might have seen Tony Leon as a young person in one of these.
Yeah, he is in there.
And then you see even Bonk of all of them from a very young age. Even our president, you will see him you might have seen him with a very big afro there in one of these pictures. These are people that are not new to this. They've been groomed with the change. They know the system up there, and then they are now the makers of the system. I don't want to say something because this is a platform for everyone to see that's gonna put me in a position of controversy and having to talk at the end of the day to come and answer to some of the things I'm saying. Wayne is putting me on the spot here. I always tread away from this because I come from I grew up in a political family, and then I have my childhood traumas around it.
Yeah. You want us? No. Do you want to really?
No. But I want us to talk about this the way forward now of how things are going to shift.
No, I support this move. So I don't want to lie to you. Yeah. Why? Because we needed this. Us as black people, I'm sorry to say this, when we get there and get to the top, man, we forget each other.
Forget the mandate.
Yeah, we forget the mandate. Yeah. If we could wake up these guys more honey and more big, I think they wouldn't forget the mandate. Those guys would have been pushing hard. These guys found things already there. These guys, our secretary generals and all that, they don't understand the struggle. And when we fought for this and we got the independence, we were promised milk and honey. And it seems as if this milk and honey is being enjoyed by a few who are up there. And it's even getting worse with the day.
I think it was a big mistake for even the fact that you get promised and then you take that promise. You shouldn't be promised. You fight for something. When you get it, you dictate the terms. You were fighting for something. So why must you wait to be given a promise after you fought for something? What were you fighting for from the start? You should be saying, this is what I was fighting for. You shouldn't be saying, okay, what are you promising me now? Now you're still getting back into the loop of the dictators.
So what are you saying now? Are you now crashing the point?
And what I'm saying is that you are saying we were promised. We were promised something. Were you fighting for the promise? No. You were fighting for liberation. And you knew what you were fighting for, the change that you wanted. So why now, when you finish the fight, you still say, my oppressor, what do you promise me? Why must you still listen to your oppressor?
You see, so with this
as opposed to saying, this is how I wanted things to be.
So with this liberation that we're fighting for, there is political liberation and there is economic liberation.
No, even that.
We got one of it, which was political.
Even that division. How were you blindfolded not to see the other one? It was the fact that you didn't see it. It was a strategic move that you will get one that's going to that economy. I don't want us to prolong this. Now, I sort of like wanted us to pass this song about, but let me indulge a little bit. Economy of being given what you want. In the way that you wanted it. But ube ungabonanga what's happening on the other side.
Like Ubambi Slay Queen. So.
The backhand of it, yeah. Yeah, like just like that. It was made up, it had weave, it had makeup until you wake up the following day with this. This is not kind of something like that. Even right now, I want to lean towards, I don't want to talk politics, but I want to lean towards the fact of saying politics are not going to liberate this country. This country is not going to be liberated. Politics have never liberated anyone, except it's just those people are just political gladiators who are fighting a fight to outwit each other in terms of winning the favor of the masses. It's not about the masses. The masses are the tools to be in the power. You understand? If I want to really get into this, is in South Africa, we have a profession of social workers, people that study social workers who are paid a very small amount of money. Those are the people that need to be sitting in parliament because they study about social issues. They've got the know-how in terms of social changes, social development, and all of that. Yeah. And none of the people those people are sitting there. They get put into silos to solve issues. Are
you saying the whole parliament? No, we've got ministries in the government, so they can be in a certain ministry. Not what we want.
This is not where I wanted to do. For me, I would rather that whole parliament be filled with social workers, but they filled in different spaces, because those people, they know about society. They studied about social development. They will know what to do there. You can still pay them the same peanuts, but they are strategically, they will know what to do for societies and the grassroots people.
So what's the problem with the people that we have? Usually lawyers find themselves in parliament. If you look at it,
lawyers are a different bunch. They shouldn't be there. I don't want to.
If you looked at it that way, lawyers usually find Mandela was a lawyer.
No, of course,
was a lawyer.
Of course, they become they are. It's a starter of leadership that once you become a lawyer. It doesn't mean that you are going to be able to facilitate changes in the society. Joe, about the fact that you are changing this one to be a minister of sports now from minister of sports and then how do you think this person is going to be informed into making the right decisions about this?
So I'm intelligent, man. I thought of this when what's that guy? Nati Mtetwa. He was a minister of sport at some time. He was a minister of tourism at some point.
But how do you?
He went through 3 ministries. That guy.
I don't want us to get into this. Otherwise, we're gonna get ourselves in hot water.
He was a minister of police. No, but fuck. But anyway, it was another saga on another week. Sagas of the class of 76. Hey, the time is always not allowing us, man, but we always have.
Sorry for the time.
Yeah, we almost approaching 2 hours, which I think is a bit too much.
Before we vale away, let me just say a little bit. Tomorrow is all day, ne? Bengicela i-uniform yabantwana leyo uyinxibileyo uhambe uyikhulula uyihlambe. Otherwise Tuesday umntana xa esikolweni izabe inuka i-rain dance.
What is rain dance?
Ila wine ya COVID. Na wine COVID. Nobhaka womntana sisixolela ubhaka unuka isavana kuthiwa ngayisavana but i-uniform mazihlanjwe ngomso mahlanjwe i-uniform abantwana bayene i-uniform ezinganuki itywala esikolweni. Thank you, bye Wayne.
Hey, thank you so much for watching Sagas of Couplehood. It's another saga, another week. As always, DJ Wicked, Nomzo. Peace out.
Peace.